NAMM 2020. I'm here on the booth of Tracktion, and I'm with Dave here. So he's one of the developers of Tracktion. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. It's been a busy show, but we've got lots on offer and lots of great people coming by. So it's been good.
We are already at a track. It's now called Waveform, Waveform 11. So is there Tracktion already since 11 years on the market, or?
Well, Tracktion first came out in 2001, so it's been nearly 20 years. We changed from T7 was the last Tracktion edition, and then Waveform 8, 9, 10, and this year we're showing Waveform 11. So yeah, a lot of history there.
And what's your role in Tracktion?
So I'm the director of software development, really. I spend a lot of time developing Waveform and the Tracktion engine, which is now open source, and that contains all the kind of the back-end features to develop a time-based audio application. And I also oversee the synth side of our business as well, programming a bit on those. And yeah, just kind of have a hand in all things software Tracktion related.
I think many users outside of music producers know Waveform or Tracktion by its free version, that you can start with it and you can make music with it. How can we see Tracktion? And how big is this company, or how many developers are in this entire group?
Well, we actually managed to get a lot done with very few developers. The team has varied in size over the years. Obviously, Jules has some involvement, but in recent times he's been focusing a lot on the soul language, which is a really cool new concept. At the moment, on the Tracktion side, me and Roland Rabin work mainly on it, and then Wolfram Franke does the core of the synth side of the business. So kind of three people really kind of keep everything moving there.
And with Wolfram Franke, you have a big beast in your team, because he has quite a big history with all these Waldorf synthesizers, hardware and software, and he's developing a lot of new synthesizers also for you. So what was one, I think, Biotech, and what kind of auto synths he made already for you?
So we started with Biotech 1, and a lot of that was building the engine that powers that. Last year I think we released Biotech 2, which was an upgrade to that, added granular oscillators, a load of new filter types, a bunch of presets, and some new oscillators. As a sort of aside to that, we've been developing some instruments to augment the DAW. So you can see here, Subtractive, that's based on that side of the business, and also Collective, which is our Rompler that has sort of 600 instruments that is a power workhorse for the DAW. And we also have our Retro Mod series, which are classic analog gear that have been kind of sampled and re-synthesized into a nice collection of really cool, easy to use instruments. And we have 8 of those now. And he's working on a new one, which is monstrous FM synthesizer.
You say to me you are the UI designer of Tracktion or of Waveform.
Yeah.
What?
I do some UI. We have a designer we work with who kind of comes up with the designs, and then I implement the designs and do a lot of the UX. But I also do all the back end stuff as well.
How difficult is it today to get the right UI for the customers? Because customers become more and more quite difficult to say, I need this, and this, or I want to work this way, or more in this Ableton Live with clips, or how you choose it to make a UI compatible for the most of the users.
So it's difficult. For everything, we get lots of feature requests. We have to talk about each one, see which thing we think the most will benefit the most number of customers, which fits well into the existing product, because we can't do something that just feels really out of place. And then once we figured out what we want to do, we have to design that in a way that is going to fit with the rest of the app and the way people are used to working. So we don't want to add something that works in a completely different way because no one will know how to use it. But yeah, finding that feature that's going to sit well in our existing feature set is good. We're not adverse to adding new things. So last year we added the actions panel, which goes on the side, which is a slightly different way of doing things with the properties panel, but we like to support both use cases, so we're not radically changing the way we do things, we're kind of augmenting it, so it's accessible for more people basically.
So you are working a lot with your users, with your user requests and for making new features. So choosing the right features for Waveform 11 or Waveform 12, 13, is this a good mix of user requested features and from your side, or you think it's more user requested features?
Honestly, it's a mix. We also like to do things that we find interesting, or every year there's stuff that we think that really needs to be done now because people have been asking us to do it for a number of years. Like this year we have improved video playback come in, and that's been reported a lot. And also just seeing the trends in how people use the app. As our user base grows, especially with the free offering, we just have more interaction and find out that they're doing things in a particular way, and we go, oh, we have a cool solution to improve that. So, and that's one of the reasons we do a new version every year, in that we can continually iterate and add things that people want without having a 3 or 4 year gap in between.
You see maybe a different vibe currently in 2020 compared to 5 years before in the DAW business. Is there a new movement, or?
There's more stuff to do now. There's just every year there's new technologies that come on the market. Like a few years ago, MPE came, so we have to add support to that. So there's trends and new technologies evolve that mean we have to do different things. We've added soul support in the most recent version of Waveform. So there's all these new things kind of constantly coming that we try and support where possible. But trends vary a bit as well. And we tend to find holes in the application and then add those. Like last year with Waveform 10, we added a lot of pro audio editing features with Groove Doctor and things. And this year we've gone to lots of workflow enhancing features to make the app a bit more visually pleasing and easier to use.
In the music tech world, in the software mainly, the domain is AI, a big topic. Many companies use it for that, makes it more easy, like creating chords or scales or any. Is that a topic also for DAW already for in a digital audio workstation? Or?
It is. It's one of the topics that gets sort of talked about a lot. We've kind of looked into AI, and I think it has its uses in specific places, but really AI should be thought of as an additional tool to solve a problem rather than trying to shoehorn it into a product where it doesn't really fit. So we're always on the lookout. If we develop a feature and we go, oh, that really could do with some machine learning or some AI in there, then we'll certainly add that. Just with the feature set we've been working on this year, that hasn't kind of quite come about, but we're always open to those kind of things.
Waveform is still a DAW for beginners, or always describe it, or a Tracktion. Do you see it also like this, or do you see all these new features you added more and more it becomes something, a tool also for more than the beginners?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say Waveform is a tool just for beginners, but we do want to make the process easier for beginners. And that's one of the reasons we've kind of brought the free version up to Waveform 11 this year. So that essentially has all the pro features stripped out, things that might be confusing or complicated for people new to recording software. And the free version is really tailored around common use cases like podcasting, or maybe you're recording a band, or you want to make an EDM track. How do we get people that want to do those things up and running as quickly as possible? So we've added a bunch of templates, and they're going to have video tutorials to go along with them to kind of really avoid bombarding people with too much at once, really.
I think one of your clever moves is to offering the Waveform quite inexpensive, super affordable. and even you put a free version on it. I think that many people love this move. And what to expect, do you think, in the DAW of the future? Because we cannot get more and more and more instruments or something. What do you think as developer?
That's an interesting question. I'll have to give away all our secrets.
or maybe more in the direction of mobility.
Possibly. So one of the things, I guess that's where Tracktion Engine as a project comes in really nicely. One of the reasons we've done this is that under the hood, most DAWs essentially have the same set of operations they do, but the way that you present that to the user and the way they interact with it is really what makes your software. So we made Tracktion Engine open source so people can use that, so they can really quickly develop applications that perhaps don't look like a DAW like Waveform does. Maybe it looks like something else. The idea then is you could take a project that's built using Tracktion Engine, and maybe you want to do some advanced editing or mixing that app didn't have, and you could load it up in Waveform, because under the hood the project format's the same, the audio engine is the same, so it's going to sound the same. So that would be something that would be really cool if that gets widely adopted.
You say now from open source. Is it something that you is it important for you from your factor in the development side? If something is open source, does it already bring you something from the outside, some ideas with the help of this open source code, or what is your experience with this?
Well, we love open source. For me, I think being open source just has a real sense of community and transparency. I would much rather, if people are using Tracktion Engine and they have a problem or find a bug or something, they can say, hey, this is what's causing a problem, then I can go and fix it. It just really speeds up the process and just shows we're not trying to hide anything. You know, everything that is built on is visible for everyone to use. And that also makes it a bit easier for people to use, because then they have some trust in what is available, so they can see everything. It's not like, you know, if there's a new operating system update, suddenly stuff is going to stop working, because they just compile it themselves. So it's a lot easier to develop like that.
And so for NAMM 2020 you have a lot of new releases, I think.
Yep.
You have Waveform 11, you have a free version, and you have an FM synthesizer which is coming, but you don't show it. It's still super early. But it's again Wolfgang Fram from Franke from ex-Waldorf. But let's talk very quickly about Waveform 11. What is new?
As I mentioned, Waveform 11 is focused around making things a lot more visual and speeding up some tasks. So the first thing we have at the top is this new overview area where you can really quickly see the arrangement of your tracks, and you can use it to navigate. So you can just select an area to zoom in and zoom back out again. We also have some really cool new editing features. So we have this arranger track, which is kind of like the marker track, but you can draw areas into it really quickly, rename them, and then once you've done that, you can quickly reorganize. So say I want to copy this main theme 1 and just duplicate it. I can do copy section and it's just duplicated. And additionally, if I just want certain tracks involved in that operation, I can just copy just those tracks. Similarly, if I want to delete that section, I've just now got an option to do that and everything closes up. So that's really going to speed up workflow. We've also added this quick action bar, so you can create common actions and add buttons to trigger those, which is a really nice visual representation of doing that. On top of that, we've added this quick action window, which is touch friendly. So at the moment we have a mixer shown on here, and you can stack up lots of these quick action bars. So if we go back to this edit, you can see we've got 4, we've got zoom options, we've got buttons that can quickly change our display, and we also have a bunch of editing operations for inserting space, deleting regions and things like that. And you can also, we've kind of expanded upon the views, so now if we want to open the mixer, for example, this would be the traditional way of doing it, but you can see this now can be popped out into its own window, and you can do that with the arranger as well. So if you want the mixer on one screen, and you can move the arranger onto another screen. So we've got this great support for multiple windows now, and you can also designate a display for your plugins. So if you have multi-screen, every time you open a plugin, you'll know where it's going to be. It's not going to open in a kind of random position. We've also added a bunch of Midi tools. So we have this chord companion app now where you can choose the note and the type of chords you want, assign these to pads, add inversions or octaves, and then with a single note you get a really full sound that's kind of very musical. We've also got built into that an ARP and a note repeater, but we've also got much more full-featured versions of those as their own plugins. So this is the note repeater here. You kind of build a pattern, and then when you play a single note, you get a very musical, rhythmic repetition of it.
You're adding a lot of new features, helping people getting tracks made. So it's a lot of because these are now quite famous, this MIDI helper.
Yeah, and MIDI is a great way of getting sound a lot quicker. We've got 4OSC is a new synthesizer we added this year. Subtractive was new in Waveform 10. We've got drum sampler was added in Waveform 10, and we have a micro drum sampler, which is a stripped down version in Waveform 3. And the arpeggiator is new as well, which is actually the arpeggiator out of the synth side of the business. So it's got all the features, swing, multiple patterns, randomness. So really quick ways of creating new melodic content, basically.
A lot of new content. There will be an upgrade price probably for all the users of Waveform 10. Yeah. And also you have this free version. How different is the free version to the Waveform 11 now?
So in previous years, our free offering has been a version of the DAW from a few years ago, but what we're doing this year is we're bringing that right up to date. So it's going to be Waveform 11 free, so it's the same engine, same stability, same platform support as Waveform 11, but we're essentially, in the Pro version, you get the newer features and the Pro level features that we've added, like Groove Doctor in the past, but Waveform free just gives you the tools for anyone really wanting to make music, but we're designing it specifically with workflows in mind. So if you're a podcaster or you want to record your band, it's a really easy way to get up and running with those.
So there's this year no Waveform 10 for free. You have a different concept this year.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much.
And when we can expect Waveform 11?
Hopefully in a month or so, depending on how well the testing process goes. But we're almost there, so we're
okay. Thank you. Big thanks for watching. I would thank you to Andy Hilton from Pro Sound. Thank you for making the camera. Big thanks, Dave, and hope you enjoyed this video. Big thanks. Bye.